Always saving Rory's bacon.
To those who I've offended, I apologize. To those that I haven't, hang around. Your time's coming.
All right, guys, we are here with Rory Irish from Moab Motorsports. You may recognize Trail Mater behind us. This rig is awesome. So if you don't know who Rory Irish is, think Matt's Off-Road Recovery on steroids. Okay. On steroids, all right. Okay? Rory does some amazing recoveries, and the level of skill he has to do some of those is incredible. So make sure to check out Rory's channel. What other vehicles and rigs do you have as part of your recovery fleet?
Okay, so this is an 82 Chevy 1-ton pickup. She's kind of the star of the show. Then we've got a 78 Chevy 1-ton truck that we're kind of doing a hybrid wrecker style out of it. And I've got the buggy that has a welder. None of that on that is Jeep except for the hood, the grill, and the motor. So the 84 Scrambler, we're working on doing some upgrades to that. We got to rebuild the transmission and some other stuff. But it's gonna get a welder, and it's kind of the camera crew and also lighter duty recovery. But then we also have an 08 JK 4-door that's got a bunch of work done to it, and it's also for the camera crew and the lighter duty stuff. We've just got multiple vehicles that anything could be used for whatever.
So Rory, you do an amazing job, but I know you've got some guys that help you out. Can you introduce us to the guys that help you out?
Absolutely. Sean is the main dude over here. This is Sean. He's been with me the longest. And so he's been through all the crazy,
everything.
Yeah, all the everything of the stuff that we haven't recorded and had somebody with a camera, which brings us to Mike. Mike is our main camera dude, but he is also helpful on the recoveries and everything. And not just that, he is an amazing storyteller. Mike used to be a tour guide, so he's really good at BSing tourists.
Well, he's got the diamond built rock pecker.
So the big story is the diamond built rock pecker, the story that he told on the channel.
So you see these little holes in the rock over there? Yeah. You know what causes that? Mice. No, there's these birds.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so they're called diamond bill rock peckers. Huh. And what they do is they poke at the rock there and they make like a nest, and like, you can see that big one over there. You can like debris from like the nest material in there. Yeah.
So now we got shirts that say, save the diamond billed rock peckers with a sparkly little beak. Mike's been here for about 2 years.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, around about 2 years. And like I said, seriously, I cannot say enough how I could not do anything I do without these two people. These guys make everything happen.
You're here in the heart of America's most rural and really crazy terrain doing these recoveries. In your opinion, what is the ideal footwear for those recoveries?
Oh, yeah, dad shoes.
Dad shoes.
Yeah, the $10 Walmart specials. That's my footwear.
What has been your most intense kind of hair on the back of your neck standing up type recovery where you thought maybe you were in a pretty precarious situation?
So our craziest recovery that I know, the one that I was the most scared on, wasn't filmed. It was filmed with my camera, but we lost the footage.
This is it.
This is the spot, y'all. So we came in, and I mean, with when the trailer is empty, it just kind of bounces around wherever.
Yeah.
So you come down in here, and we had to kind of come up and drop down this way.
Yeah.
So we get there, we load up the side-by-side.
Yep. Over there.
Yeah. We got up here and it was kind of slipping.
Yeah.
And so we tied off up to a rock up there with the rear winch to kind of hold us as we pulled forward to just kind of keep us on the road.
Yeah.
Right here, the problem is with that rock in the way and pulling a trailer, you don't physically have room to get up here and make the corner without the trailer going into that rock.
Sure.
So it kept getting hooked.
Like the tires into
tire,
that.
like right here.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, we're home free. We're golden. We get right here, coming along, and the dual hit right here.
Okay.
And it jumped sideways. And it slid on these rocks.
Yeet.
Yeah. But like I said, this was legitimately the scariest I've been in the truck. It's the different kinds of recoveries that we're doing. Like he's got rigs stuck in the sand, stuck in areas. Mostly it's an immobile vehicle or that needs pulled out and stuff like that. Whereas we've got trail rigs that are breaking. So that's why the trail repair is a huge deal on it, plus recovery.
So you're recovering off-road rigs, whereas I've noticed Matt he's getting rental cars.
He said that to me straight up. He's all, Rory recovers Jeeps, I recover tourists.
Yes. Yeah. For the most part, right?
Yeah. And the more he gets that big record built, the more he's going to be going onto the trails and getting rigs and fixing rigs in place and doing that kind of stuff.
I love Cummins, I love Dodge. You love Cummins, you love Dodge.
Yeah.
Any prospects on some type of Cummins build?
We're working on that. So I've got an 01 Cummins. It is sitting out back with 593,000 miles on it. We're working on doing a 6x6 out of it. We want to put a longer bed on it, 6x6 for stability so that we can put a side-by-side on it and haul it off of like Hell's Revenge or out of the sand dunes or wherever.
Okay.
So we are working on that. I think with the larger footprint of the 6-wheel drive and everything, it'll compensate for the diesel being so heavy.
Right.
If it doesn't work, it's still gonna be really cool.
It will be really cool, I guarantee that. Most of the time when we stop at people's places and do these videos, we do a full shop tour, but as you know, this is your office, right?
This is my office, my shop, and yeah, also my recovery rig. The shop on wheels.
Can you show us the details that maybe people know about, as well as some of the details maybe people don't know about?
Sure. I tell people to check the truck out when they're here because there's so much you won't see about, like from the videos. This is an old winch line that's tucked down in there that is tied in the center and then loops tied every 10 feet. So you can use that as a rigging strap to rig up if you need to pull from multiple points, right, or set up or whatever.
Snatch block or something.
Yeah, and then of course the umbrella. It's a welding umbrella.
Oh.
We got the umbrella, and then this just holds all of my
Soft
rigging
shackles,
stuff. Yeah, soft shackles and rigging stuff. This is my transgender gas can. It identifies as a toolbox.
Okay. Did you custom build this?
No. Rugged Ridge makes these.
Does the other gas can identify as a gas can?
That is a gas can.
Okay.
Yeah, that is an actual gas can. Because unlike Matt's off-road recovery, I carry fuel with me.
Wait, Rory said that about me? Oh man, Rory, you're going down. Tow Truck Olympics are mine. I'm making the rules. You're in big trouble, man.
We've got the dual winches there. So we've got the main one on the bottom, auxiliary one on the top, and then another one on the bottom here. So I have 3 pointing back, one out each side and one out the front. I actually did this side winch thing as a joke. So I was like, you know, these trails are real narrow. So if we needed to get a rig that was down here without having to turn sideways, you could just run a winch down there.
Right.
And I was telling somebody and they go, well, what if you start winching and it starts pulling you this way? I said, I'll put a winch on the other side and run it up the hill and hook it to something. Like as a joke. And then I like had all these winches and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And these are the most used winches on this truck. But like the welding leads wrapped up like this. These are tied in permanent into the control box for the welder and they're just wrapped up here. But we've like tried to tuck everything into spaces, but everything is ahead of the rear axle.
Keep the weight forward.
Keep all the weight forward as much as we can. But we've got our lighting, then we've got this set of boxes on this side is all welding gear and everything, and then everything on that side is tools. So we've got it to where like all our fluids, all our spare fluids are towards the front.
Right.
So front weight and everything. But yeah, engine oil, transmission fluid, brake fluid, gear oil, and antifreeze.
Yeah, what's the motor? What's the transmission?
So this is GM Performance Parts. It's 454, 4-bolt main, big block Chevy. We did Edelbrock Performer air gap intake and headers, long tube headers. Stock Chevy SM465 4-speed.
Okay.
And then a stock Chevy MP205 behind that. Has a modified shift rail so we can do the front digs, we can control the axles independently, but it has not been re-geared. It's all factory stuff.
Okay.
And then factory Chevy, Dana 60, it's got upgraded to 35 spline, chrome moly shafts, running 410 gears, and the rear axle is out of an 01 Dodge Cummins. It's a Dana 80 with disc brakes.
Disc brakes.
Yeah. And then the star of the show are my snap-on shifters.
Tell us about this wrench right here.
This is the one wrench that rules them all. This 3/4 inch wrench, my recovery trailer has ramps that are held up with a 3/4 inch wrench. My spade right here, my land anchor, is held on with a 3/4 inch nut. My high lift jack is a 3/4 inch nut. Everything is a 3/4 inch nut so that this takes everything off.
Right. Don't have to carry a whole set.
Yeah, and then it's just stuck up there on a magnet and just kind of hangs out. And the big comment that I get is, what's with the pizza box mounted to your dash? It's not a pizza box. It's a clipboard, and it has all my paperwork from my release waivers and stuff like that and everything. And then of course the most important switch.
Oh yeah. That is sweet.
You really get people in the comments saying, "Why do you have a light bar?"
Yes. Yeah, I get people asking like, you know, there's nobody else out on the trail. Why do you have a light bar? I have it for 2 reasons. One, so that people know if we're hauling a rig out, know to kind of give us some room because we're coming through or whatever. I'm not asking for special privilege, but just know that we are carrying a rig, we are doing something. Yeah. So if people are aware of it. And the other aspect of it, we have gone out to get people that are stranded out in the middle of nowhere. And I've been running that light bar and they have told us, they're like, we were freaking out and then we seen your light bar from way over there and we automatically knew, okay, help's on the way, we feel better. So in that aspect, hearing that more than a couple times, I'm like, I'm keeping the light bar, I don't care.
Yeah. It's incredible how much stuff you have on it, but it is really organized and everything's thought out. It's not like, let's just throw this on here. It's all thought out.
Yeah, it's really funny because my shop is the complete opposite of this truck. Here goes Mike panning around. Like, it's so funny when people are like, you got that truck so organized, I bet your shop is spotless. No, like this is put together because it has to go together the way it does to fit everything in it. If you don't put it back together the right way, nothing fits. And so it has to be organized in that aspect. But yeah, the shop is kind of like, kick it over there, whatever, you know, throw it over there. Whatever, it'll be fine. We'll
find it
clean
later.
it next year. One obstacle at a
Game time
time.
decisions.
Yeah, you can't be like, how am I going to get this vehicle out of Pritchett Canyon? Pritchett Canyon is the hardest trail in Moab. You have to be, how am I going to get it up that rock ledge? How am I going to get it down this rock ledge? How am I going to get it up this rock ledge? Like, you have to break it into each individual spot and deal with those as you come, because you can't just be like, how am I going to get it out of there? That's the roughest trail. If you're looking at the whole trail and thinking of the whole trail, you're going to scramble your brain. Yeah, you're going to scramble your brain and not think properly. What we do is pretty sketchy. And I do get scared, but it has to be done. What are you going to do?
Right.
To do this, I've done it in the wrecker before, and I back down it because it's sketchy as hell. And I don't like it, and I don't want to do it. There's nothing good about this. But like, yeah, there's that little thing in the back of your head that's going, what if? Am I panicking, freaking out, and telling Mike, are you screaming on the radio, we're all gonna die? No, you can't do that.
That's good to hear, because watching your channel, I personally think, like, how is he so composed doing all this? So it's good to hear that maybe inside your head.
Oh, in my head, I'm holding it together. But yeah, like I said, but you have to be, because you got to be like, all right, I'm gonna try this, but if it does this, I've got to be ready to do that.
Right.
And it's all in
Always
a second.
calculating.
Yeah, but it's all in a second.
All right, Rory, it was awesome to get to see Trailmator, get to meet the crew, get to see the shop and see where you work. I enjoyed it. I know the people watching this video are gonna enjoy it too.
Sweet.
Well, thank you, Rory. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Do a backflip.
Do a backflip. And it's just hilarious because it's kind of like.
R-O-R-Y. Because he can.
It's always good to have those business expenses to write all that off too.
Oh, is that what you're supposed to do? yeah. What he said.